It's a basic sheet. It's been a while. It has been. I kind of got away from them last week because I was waiting on some stuff to get covered. So here we go. Basics 6 practice. BI Basics 6. Solve for x. Always simplify the fraction. You haven't done one of these in a while, but it shouldn't be a big deal. The opposite of division is multiplication. Or you do some crazy thing like distribute 2/7 and see how it works out for you. So the 7's cancel on the left. The right-hand side, 8 times 7 is 56. There's still a 2 that I have to move in. So that'll give me 8x minus 10. Shift the 10 right. 56 plus 10 is 66. And then divide by 8. You know, don't do anything stupid like leave an even over an even and not reduce. That's got to be 33 over 4, right? Absolute value is up next. I'm going to do the same technique I did up there. I'm going to 4 both sides first. Why? Why not? And that cancellation right there, 4 times 7 minus 3x is 28 minus 12x. And then I'm going to move the 3 in. I could actually, no, I can't, never mind. That gives me 24x minus 12. And that's absolute value still. So, counteracted division, the distributive property. And now I'm going to write 2 equations. Plain and simple, write 2 equations. The first one is 24x minus 12 equals 28 minus 12x. Or the second one, which is negative 24x plus 12 equal to 28 minus 12x. It's an equal to symbol. And then I'm going to solve for x. I would add 12 here. 24 and 12 makes 36. I would also add 12 there because I'm doing the opposite of what it says as I move left to right or right to left. That'd be 40. So x is 40 over 36. Those are both divisible by at least 4. 40 divided by 4 is 10. 36 divided by 4 is 9. 10 ninths. Up to this guy, doesn't really matter how you do it, but we'll just shift left. Negative 24 plus 12 is negative 12. 28 minus 12 should be 16. And then I divide by the negative 12. And then I reduce. Those are both divisible by 4 as well. Negative 4/3. 3 will get a lot of you. 3 is a standard that we're supposed to push in the state of Tennessee. 18% of the student body across the entire state of Tennessee can do it. About 18% success rate statewide. You're still supposed to figure out how to do it. Because if you can't do this, I don't know. I guess you're not going to go too far in mathematics, now are you? You're supposed to isolate this dude. There's a lot of work to get there. First thing you have to do is you have to get rid of this radical. So I'm going to eliminate the radical by squaring both sides. So d squared is now equal to x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. The next easy thing to do is just to move that piece over there. D squared minus x2 minus x1 quantity squared is y2 minus y1 quantity squared. And now the issue is that little square. Well, you fix the square of a quantity by taking the square root of both sides. Do not think you can do anything with this because you can't. Square root of d squared minus x2 minus x1 squared is y2 minus y1. And the goal here was to isolate y1, right? I believe it was. So we're going to move this over. Square root of d squared minus x2 minus x1 quantity squared minus y2 is negative y1. Now we're going to divide the negative out. So I'm going to divide by the negative, 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 and that's going to cause sign changes. Y2 minus the square root of d squared minus x2 minus x1 is y sub 1. Whew. Some of y'all sit at home and be like, well, that's stupid. No, it's not. You understand that if you took a bunch of math. Is it intimidating to y'all? Probably. All right, double distributive properties. I put the imaginary numbers in on this one. X times x is x squared plus 4ix minus 7ix and then minus 28i squared. Remember this little guy? Remember that little guy? Do you? It is a negative 1. So this becomes, we're just going to mark it off. We change sign and mark out the I squared, positive 28. Combine like terms in the center. There's a negative 3, xi, ix, whatever you like. They're the same thing, plus 28. That's simple. Hopefully you understand the double distributive property. I know some of you don't. Anyways, I'm just distributing the 5x, negative 10x, minus 20x, plus 10. Combine like terms, 20x squared minus 30x plus 10. All right, basic function notation. You have two functions this time. You have f of x and g of x. First thing you're supposed to do is find f of negative 3. That's going to be 5 times a negative 3 minus a 7, which is negative 15 minus 7, which is not like negative 8 or anything. It's negative 22. Then you're supposed to find f plus g of negative 3. This notation is equivalent to f of negative 3 plus g of negative 3. I want you to notice that we already have that. All right? So that piece is negative 22. And we're supposed to add to it the result of plugging in a negative 3 into g. So 4 times a negative 3 minus 5. This is negative 22 plus, what do we have here? A negative 17, which is negative 39. Average rate of change section, find the slope between the 2 points. You just need a little formula. Slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So here's x1, here's y1, here's x2, here's y2, and I just plug in. Some of y'all be missing this. I don't understand it. Negative 7 minus 6 is negative 13. 5 minus 2 is 3. There's my answer. Done. Find the average rate of change over the interval negative 1 to 2 for this function. You just need a formula. Algebra 2 is not that bad. The issue is your hard heads. There's a formula. Find a formula. Go off the side. Find f of b. Here's a. Here's b. Plug a 2 in. So I think the issue is most of y'all have no idea what 2 squared is. Like this is foreign to you, and it's not supposed to be. It's not hard. 2 squared is 4, times 2 is 8, and then 3 times 2 is 6. There's a 2. Got to find f of a. That happens when I plug in a negative 1. So a negative 1 squared is 1, times 2 is 2, a negative times a negative positive. So that's 3. That's 5. So 2 minus 5 up top. 2 minus the negative 1 down low. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. 2 minus negative 1 is 3. That's negative 1. Do you have any idea how many kids are going to miss this problem? It's so sad. You just cover up. 3x plus 2 is 0. Or 2x minus 5 is 0. Slide and divide, kids. Negative 2/3. Oops, forgot the x equals. Slide and divide. 5 halves. Factor. It doesn't say solve, it just says factor. Factors of 8 are 8 and 1. To add to a negative 9, they're both negative. Done. And the quadratic formula section. And I will not be giving you the quadratic formula, because x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Hope you enjoyed that. Plug in. Opposite of a, by the way, a is 3, b is 4, c is negative 2. You got to move that thing over. You have to be in standard form. Anyways, where was I? Negative 4 plus or minus square root of 4 squared, because it's b squared, minus 4, because there's a 4, times a 3, because a is 3, times a negative 2, all over twice a 3. Be careful about that. That's where kids are going to screw up. So I'm thinking in my head what I have in here, 4 squared is 16, a negative times a negative is positive, 4 times 3 is 12, times 2 is 24, and both pieces are sitting over 6 because 2 times 3 is 6. Negative 4 6 is negative 2/3, plus or minus 16 and 24 is 40 over 6. And don't think that's 20 over 3. Like, don't be that kid. In your head, you need to be thinking about root 40 as something like 4 times 10, because that's what she is. And that becomes 2 root 10, because the square root of 4 is 2. So let's think what we have here. We have 2 root 10 over 6. 2 over 6 is 1 over 3, so a single root of 10 over 3. We have negative 2/3 plus root 10 over 3, or negative 2/3 minus root 10 over 3. One or the other. ACT, how many distinct prime factors of 40? Distinct means unique. All right, first off, definition prime number. Divisible by itself and one only. One is not a prime. So let's write out the factors of 40. They are 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, 20, and 40. I think that's all of them. I'm pretty tired, but I'm pretty sure that's all of them. How many are prime? 2 is prime. 2 is divisible by itself and 1. 4 is not prime. 1 is not prime. 5 is prime. 8 is divisible by 2, not prime. 10 is divisible by 2, not prime. 20 is divisible by 2, not prime. 40 is divisible by 2. There are 2 distinct prime factors. I can't write. 2 distinct prime factors. Let's see, 3 robots are completing a task. Robot 1 can complete the task in 5 hours. Robot 2 can complete it in 4. Robot 3 can complete the task in 6. If they work together, how long will they take them to complete the task? This is supposed to be an Algebra 1 standard. It's not Algebra 2. It's supposed to be an Algebra 1 standard. And there's a formula in Algebra 1. It says 1 over time 1 times x plus 1 over time 2 times x is 1. X is the time to complete together. And there's a third robot here, so we're going to have 1 over time 3. So robot 1 can do it in 5 hours, 1/5 of x. Robot 2 can do it in 4 hours, 1/4 of x. And then there's a robot 3, 1/6 of x. And together these things add up to be 1. Now your issue with this should be that it's fractions, plain and simple. 5, 4, and 6, what's the smallest thing they all enter? Surely it's not 120. It might be. I'm pretty tired. 60? Yeah, they all go into 60. What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply everything by a 60 because this will eliminate fractions. Everything. As long as I do it to all 4 pieces, balance hasn't been broke. 1/5 of 60 is 12. 1/4 of 60 is 15. 1/6 of 60 is 10. And don't forget the x's. And together that adds up to be 1 times 60, 60. Then I can put all my fractions, my numbers together. I have 2737x is 60. Divide by 37, and there's my answer. 60/37ths of an hour. So a little over an hour. Hour and 23/60ths of an hour. All right, there's the front. Obviously, your quiz that you take is going to be shorter. I've still got a backside to do. I just need to take a small break.